You know, one thing that I was told when I was talking to this one archaeologist, his name is Claude Really. If you guys watch my content, you probably know about him because I've been teaching his theory on the Wadi Hawar diaspora in relation to Nilotic people and the spread of our languages in Eastern Sudanics. He said that one of the reasons why it's hard for local scholars to study the field of their own history is because their studies get affected by certain ideologies. And to be honest, that's very true. And it's not even just the case for local scholars, but just in general, people they let their studies get affected by certain ideologies, whether it's political, emotional, you know, like internal stuff, internal feelings, all these type of things, man. And it's just I feel like I've realized the importance of telling the truth when it comes to your content and the information you put out there. Because one thing I noticed is that, bro, no matter what, people are gonna find out. Like, if you lie about something, people are gonna find out in the future. They're gonna find out either now or later. So if I have to be real, it's just never worth lying, you know? Like, and that's one thing I kind of try to pride myself on. Like, I'm not gonna come in here and intentionally lie to you guys. I might tell you guys something inaccurate, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna like straight up just lie and say this is actually this way, you know. And it actually brings me to the Afrocentrism and the whole ancient Egypt situation, bro. And I know I talk about this subject a lot, but I think there's just a lot of stuff you can learn about people from this topic, especially from like a psychological perspective. Because you see people coming out, and especially within the conscious community, coming out and saying, I'm the reincarnation of this sun god or of this pharaoh, you know, and I'm the reincarnation of this and reincarnation of that. And these are people going through some very, very tough times and great mental delusions. And it all starts with a belief in a certain ideology, and that belief, they take an inch, you know, they get given an inch and they stretch it to a mile. You know, they get an inch and go a mile with it. They start with something small and then they stretch it beyond levels of unimaginable levels, you know. And like, this reminds me of stuff I've been talking about with friends, and how people, you know, some in the conscious community, some you can say like extreme woke Afrocentrics, right, who will claim the highest of the high. You know, they will say that they won't just say, oh, my ancestors lived in Egypt. They will say, I'm a descendant of this pharaoh. I am a descendant of this God. I'm the reincarnation of this and reincarnation of that. And like, it really shows the main motivation, that the reason why people like follow these ideologies is because it's a cope. It's just a cope. Like, my friend, he told me, like, when people have been down bad for like the past couple of centuries, they usually try to like come up with these cope types of movements, and they end up, he gave an example with like Europeans. I think he used Irish as an example, but like, it's just the idea, like, they'll go and claim everything was like originated with them and this, that, and the third. And the reason why you do that is because you feel like either you've been down bad or that your history isn't as good as others. And another thing too is that you're using Western standards to measure the success of ancient cultures and societies that probably didn't even go by these standards that we use today. And this is something that another guy in the server told me. It was the same guy who told me about the cope culture thing, you know. And that's what it really has become. You know, it's just become a bunch of cope culture. I don't feel bad. I don't feel good about my people because of these historical events. And so I'm going to create a narrative that is gonna make us feel better. And to be honest, it's not bad, but it's just the way that some people go about it, you know. And unfortunately, some people like to abuse it. So I don't know. I guess it's just another perspective and thing. You don't need to feel or be better and superior than everybody else. Everybody has a good history, you know, whether it's recorded or not recorded. Everybody, you know, history, it is what it is, and it's the reason why we're here today. So I mean, you know, there's no point in trying to go back and change it. It might sound corny, but hey, make your own history. Like, make your own story, you know. We live in America. Like, you know what I'm saying? We live in 2023, bro. You can make your own story. You can become rich. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, you know. You got the freedom to do that. It might be hard, but like, you get what I'm saying? You got to put in the effort.